Welcome to the Autistic Black Woman Chronicles. I'm Shamala, and in this space, I share my journey as a late diagnosed autistic black woman. Here, we explore unique experiences, challenges, and triumphs that come with this intersectional identity. From personal stories to insights and discussion, I'm excited to create a community where we can learn and grow together and celebrate our authentic selves. Let's explore today's topic. So today's topic is things I wish I had known before I had an autism assessment. Number one, I would say talk to family and friends. Ask them about your childhood, the things that made you stand out, the things that made you seem different. Most of the time, our family members will think that we're different, or they'll notice the different experiences that we have from other kids. One of the things that I did was I talked to my aunt. She was one of my caregivers when I was young. And I asked her about flapping because my mom made a comment and I vaguely remembered flapping. And my aunt said, "You used to flap like a little bird." And that is one of the things that autistic children do. I'm not sure why I stopped. Um, I'm not really sure. She also said that I used to toe walk, and she said that she remembered that my cousins and I were all together, and we were sitting, I think, like on the sofa or something, and she could see like the bottoms of our shoes, and we had hard bottom shoes at that time. And my shoes were worn at the toes, so I used to walk on my tiptoes, and I do remember doing that. Write down as many things as you can remember that made you feel different from other kids. If you were bullied, that's one thing that I definitely experienced in junior high school. In high school, I didn't really have friends. I actually had no friends in high school. I was pretty much a loner. And that was by choice. And also, I just really didn't connect with the kids. I felt like there is nothing that I have in common with these kids. So I just didn't have any friends. One other thing I really want to stress is if there are things that you don't remember, just say you don't remember. Do not try to guess, because there are certain things that they're looking for, and if you guess and you just kind of go along with whatever it is that they're asking you and you're not really sure, it really doesn't help you at all. So just don't guess. If you don't remember, you don't remember, and share the things that you do. If your parents have like old report cards, or you have them, notes from teachers, things like that, notes written on your report cards, take those kinds of things with you. As a black woman, I find it interesting that one of the things that I was asked multiple times in my assessment was if I had special education courses. I did not, but I did tell the assessor that I was hyperlexic, which means I was reading at a very early age. At 3 years old, I was reading. And that, unfortunately, is not taken into account with black girls, black women, that we are doing things that exceed what our age level would typically do. They are looking for deficits. They think of autistic people as only deficit based, as a deficit based condition. Um, but if that was not your experience, or if it was, share what it was. I know several autistic black women who have now been diagnosed as adults where we were all hyperlexic. So that's something to kind of watch out for. I would definitely state that so that hopefully they're taking notes, and that's written in the notes and in the assessment. Um, Another thing I would do is I would ask if this person works with black people and or people of color, and specifically black women. And of the number of black women, black people, people of color they've assessed, how many of those people received a diagnosis of autism? I just feel like with my own personal experience, My assessor was culturally incompetent. She actually wrote in my diagnosis that no accommodation was made for cultural differences. And I think that that was ignorant, that was short sighted. We're different. Black people are raised differently. Our families have different traditions. We raise our children differently. We have our own language. We have our own way of doing things. And yes, we are Black Americans, but that does not mean that our lived experiences are the same or similar. So the expectations that she, as a white woman, had did not fit into my experience. Case in point, she asked if anyone ever said, "You have a flat affect." And I just said, kind of deadpan, "Black people don't talk like that." And I said, what I was told was, you need to smile more, or why you look so mean, or you look unapproachable. Those were things that I was told over and over and over and over and over growing up and as a young woman. So, cultural differences need to be taken into consideration when these assessments are being done by white people. Um, and one of the other things that I would really recommend is that you absolutely do not, for any reason, have your diagnosis put into your medical record. At this point in time, we have a new HHS secretary in the United States. Uh, RFK Jr. He is an anti-vaxxer. He looks at autism as a disease. Autism is a neurological developmental condition. It is not a disease, it is not a disorder. Even though it says so in the DSM-5, right under that it says that autism is a complex neurological condition. So those are that's what I'm trying to normalize, because it is. It's a condition, it's neurological, and it's complex. And I have another rabbit hole that I want to dive into in regards to the neurological differences that we have. I have been doing my own personal research, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm just going to Google or Chat GTP. I'm like actually reading research papers and kind of connecting dots where things get lost as it relates to neurological conditions. So, if that is of interest to you, be looking out for a video that I will do on potential links between autism and different neurological conditions. But yeah, as I was saying before I went down a different rabbit hole, don't put your diagnosis in your medical record. And the reason I say that is because they're looking for us now. They think that we're disordered. They think that we're diseased. They think that we're a problem. And RFK Jr. has a farm that he thinks will help people and reparent people, black people, black children, children with or people with ADHD, autism, and we are going down a slippery slope. This really feels a lot like late 1930s Germany to me. I've studied a lot about World War II history, specifically as it relates to Germany, and I'm seeing a lot of things play out that look very similar. So, to protect yourself um, from what is coming down the line, just don't put it in your medical record if you have not done so already. If you have one trusted um, doctor, nurse, or someone in the medical professional that you work in the medical profession that you work with, as it relates to your health care, and you want to talk to them about it and you feel safe and comfortable, and you let them know clearly you do not want this in your medical record. It should not be notated. This is a conversation that you're having so that as you discuss different things as it relates to your health, you can have a conversation and connect dots. Because what I'm finding is that Now, knowing I learned at 46 years old that I am autistic, but learning that so late in life and now having different neurological conditions, I'm connecting dots where other people don't. I don't even know how many doctors really have much information on autism. I work for a medical school. There is, as far as I know, only one course on autism. It is not a requirement, it is an elective. I believe that all doctors are seeing autistic people, whether they know that they're seeing us or not. However, again, if you feel like you can trust someone and you have some symptoms that are occurring and they might be co occurring with autism and be related, and there are dots that can be connected, that might be an important bit of information. At least that's what I'm exploring, that's what I'm figuring out. And I will, again, talk about this later, and I will share my mind map. Not only on the dots that I'm starting to connect with neurological conditions and autism, but the mind map that I created that helped lead me to the determination that I was probably autistic. And it's pretty interesting, and we'll talk about it more when I do that video. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.